Hello, what is it? How do you call videos like this? First time ever video like this, I would say, I think. I'm not sure. However, on Instagram I asked you, would you want to get a video like this? And some of you said, okay, do it. Go for it. So this is a get ready with me and maybe life update video. We shall see how that goes because, woo, I haven't recorded a podcast episode for a while. This is not a podcast about knitting. I may be showing you a few things. We shall see how that goes. We shall see how long it goes. But I'm doing get ready with me because I want to record a finish object video because I finished socks. And before I do that, I put some stuff on my face. However, I don't think that's a nice thing. I have only small kind of tripod and I'm going to put a stack of books to lift you up. Well, let's see another one. Or should I add folk knitting? So now, first things first, maybe my face. I should have a cream probably or something like that, but I actually run out of one a few days ago. It's in the kitchen. I'm going to wash the empty jar and properly recycle it. And probably online I'm trying to see if I can buy something. I'm not a person who would go to shops. I don't really like that. So any online suggestions where I could be purchasing some, maybe in a cardboard, like something like this, packaging, not plastic, which I have, and I'm trying to use it, will be greatly appreciated. Okay, so let's do it. I like this, although it's plastic. It's not a bottle. Put it in my hand, and I'm just the only mirror I have. I need to get myself a bigger one. Okay, yeah, just before I even start, if there's anything that I want to end on the screen, you will hear this sound. That means check it out in case you're knitting, doing something. My new editing skill. Okay, so update from the last thing. There's probably a waiting list. To-do list that I want to do in regards to this channel, but life is kind of crazy and now we're going back to full-time work after 6 months, so that's why you may have noticed that I had loads of videos on this channel. So maybe a break, a sound, and off you go. So you could see on the screen what I've been up to, what kind of finished object I was doing. I was knitting like crazy. I love it so much. And I know some of you are messaging me, how do I do it? So that was the mystery. That was the, not a mystery, what do you call it? My secret, because I didn't go to work. And if I did, it was just a little few hours and that's that. Therefore, during that time, I could, design things, write patterns, have a contact with test knitters, creating groups, and I did something that I always wanted to do since I think the last year, but I've never had a time. It's a design a sweater. And if you follow me on Instagram, you could have a sneak peek what kind of yarn I used. And to do that, I use 100% wool, which basically is actually a blend of 7 types of wool, 7 types of different breeds of sheep. I hope I'm saying it right. Nose. So yeah, so maybe an extra segment to point it out to whoever would want to purchase any of my new patterns. Oh, this is it. Lovely. And check the links down below. I probably will link to those patterns and hopefully I will give some coupon code over that too. So if you haven't purchased it, check that out. I'm not putting it a lot, to be honest. My most, how do you call it? How would a makeup artist would call it? Difficult? Nope. I don't know English words. Basically areas that they're needed. It's my eyes. I normally put a lot of that, not really around. any bits here and there, and basically powder. This powder I got in Poland. Poland. If you meet any Polish person, you may hear, and I've said that too, I said Poland. Poland. Some people would hear it Holland, Holland, what, Poland. Random fact, it's so weird for me to call myself Pole. Actually, if you go on my Instagram, in my bio I wrote down, I'm a Pole in Ireland. Because the first thing I think is actually a Pole. And I use powder because apparently this thing stays longer. I don't know. Next thing, my brows. I did lately, that's actually my second attempt. What was it? Dyeing your brows. So I don't have to do a lot of things with it. I use henna, I think that's in English. In Polish we would say henna. And if I took a photo, maybe I'll show you over here what that is. I'm mixing black and brown together. And I put something on my eyelashes, but probably have to have more. I used that thing that I got a few years ago. And bing, I know I shouldn't probably use it, but me throwing something away in a plastic thingy now is a little bit challenging. So far nothing's coming up on my face because I'm using it, so judge me down below. So I use some kind of thingy and I'm just filling in eyeshadow. What is this? Actually it is, I think, eyeshadow Nick. I think that's, I don't know, I bought it in Ireland in some, you know, grocery shop because, well, let's face it. Actually, I remember when I bought it, we were camping somewhere. I went to the shop and I thought, I've never had any fancy thing like that. So I thought I'll try it, right? I'm over 30, so I should at least now. Hopefully it's the same. So I did this. And normally what I like to do, I like to put everything on one side, but actually, you know what I mean? I have a big mess in my... You see this thing over here? Yeah, big mess. And I was actually thinking that if something like that does not bother you, because I'm saving time, I could actually crochet a small box and fit into it. That kind of shelf slash drawer is from IKEA, so you probably could check it out, how big it is, and maybe a break for knitting here. If you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I crochet. A while ago, by that I'm saying like 5 years ago. So when I started this channel, I bought Tunisian crochet set. So this is it. You know what? Wait a sec. I'm going to show you what I have because I don't know where the one is, and probably in some of my project bags, whips, stuff. Okay, so I'm here. So this is it. I think it's in a Pro. It's wooden, so it's only metal pieces. This, which I like. Oh, don't know what kind of sizes you have because you have something written down on them. Okay, look up, check the screen. It's a hook with some numbers. Millimeters is something that I would probably understand, but as you can see, it rubs off. You can see 5 over here. So after a while, you don't know what that is. But if you have anything that you can poke the hook through, like the measurements for the knitting needles, then you can, I presume they're exactly. And with this comes cords. I put them somewhere. I have quite a big mess in regards to organizing my knitting needles and things because I spend more time downstairs and I have my stash downstairs, but I had my needles upstairs, and every time I wanted to kind of, you know, gather everything together, I had to do a bit of a workout, which is quite good, but I'm lazy, so I took some bits downstairs, and I think I will need to create like a box only for my knitting needles and crochet hooks and stuff like that. So if you're interested to have a video or see the video like this, comment down below. More comments, it will kick my butt to actually do it. And you see, I had a bit of experience before purchasing this set with knitting needles, and I knew, for instance, that I may not be so hooked into the crochet because when I do it, my wrist clicks, and now after doing this, I also know that my muscles scream basically behind my shoulder blades. Yes, shoulder blades? Yeah, that's the word, isn't it? Łopatka, in case you're wondering what that kind of triangular bone is called in Polish. So what I did over here, I did a bottom using Tunisian technique, which basically means you just do a chain, and then in that chain you kind of see 3 legs. So I just picked one leg and I just kind of poked the hook through, grabbed the yarn and left that stitch on the hook and just gathered all of them. And at the end I pull one through, so that's an extra height, and then I was then pulling a strand through 2 stitches and 2 stitches and 2 stitches, 2 stitches until I kind of bind off look for knitters and end up with a 1. And then I just repeat that thing all the time. So again, I was just kind of picking up stitches in the knitting terms, I would say. Then pull one stitch through the last stitch and then basically bind off. So 2 together just by pulling each all the time. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh, please write down something that it does, because I'm just like thinking that I wasted your time. But then once I finish it, I'm just now doing in around, and I probably messed it up completely, because if you don't know in crochet terms, you have 2 terms. It's English term and American terms, I think I call it, or US, I'm not sure. And either I do single crochet or I'm doing double crochet. But basically I'm doing one thing, it's just they have different terms on that one process of creating that thing. So what I basically do, I'm just finding, hopefully you can see it, that kind of V's like you have knitting, and I'm putting the hook through that, so under that V, pull the yarn once and then pull the yarn through 2, and I'm just repeating that. So I think it's a single crochet in American terms, but double in English terms, or all the way around. So a quick tutorial for you. Okay, and because those walls were kind of stretching on the side, I started to decreasing, and I've never watched a video of how you decrease in crochet, but basically what I did, I just, when I figured out there is a corner, because it's not so vivid, I just, how do you say it? I just picked one, picked another one, and then pulled the yarn through 3, kind of way, and then I crochet 1 and exactly did the same thing. So that's 1 crochet 1. I kind of thought it's in like in that kind of corner section. So yeah, I haven't finished it, and the main idea for this, I have some of those IKEA boxes everywhere around the house, because we got them when we were renting, and they were quite cheap, handy, and you could put them everywhere, and it was quite easy to maintain in regards cleaning, and you could take it out. You probably know what I'm talking about. If you have one of these at home, write down below you have it too. So I feel I have a shoebox IKEA buddy watching me over here. So anyway, I'm in the kitchen. I try to find some organization. We have a few things there. Maybe that's an idea for the video, I'm not sure, but that's a kind of knitting channel, so I'm not sure either. But there is a jars. I want to put jars into them, and obviously those jars kind of bounce, and I want to have another layer, and I thought that maybe I'll create this and then just put it on top of those jars that are already there, and then create another layer of jars so they won't be so banging inside, hopefully. But then it's so pretty, and we have a coffee table downstairs, and I have little bits left, again IKEA stuff. So you have a coffee table with another kind of shelf, or yeah, shelf, and I just have, oh my, I should be showing stuff like that to you. But anyway, so I'm thinking maybe I do that for this, and then I start another one. Although I need loads of break, I can't do like 2 hours crocheting or 1 hour crocheting like I would do with knitting. With knitting, I just use my fingers. I don't use my wrist, I don't use my shoulder, I don't have to do any motions like this. And with crocheting, you probably do. So that's why it's a little bit slow, but enjoyable. And I know I'm going to like it. And I'm thinking that I could actually do something similar, obviously smaller, for my cosmetic drawer. And probably you think what kind of yarn I use. I use yarn that I got in Poland as a souvenir. It is a hand spun. It's not, they don't have a wool mill in Poland, and so basically this is just sheeps from south part of Poland, and it's very rustic. Although I knitted 2 sweaters, bang bang, on the screen. Someone is ringing me. Life update. I'm at home chilling, doing myself things, and maybe on the screen again, a break for beautiful photos that I posted on my stories, because sometimes I do those things. So if you're interested to follow me on Instagram, go for it. If you want to pause that lovely slideshow in your stories and you don't know how, you basically just hold your finger for a little bit longer to read what's written down over that. Obviously on the YouTube you just press pause, right? So something like that. When I'm on my own, I'll try to go slowly, doing a bits by bits. And this is one of them. And Zeb at this moment is in Connemara. Yes, hiking and then sleeping on the top of the mountain. So hopefully on his channel he will post that trip there. I'll put a link down below to his channel too. And maybe at the end of this video, somewhere over here. I have my me time and he has his time. And sometimes we like to do things differently and we give ourselves space to do that, and we are so thrilled and happy and grateful that we can. Okay, maybe still back to makeup stuff, right? What did I do? I don't remember. Okay, let's put on the side, as I would normally do, the things that I used. I do whatever I grab. So now I bought something like this a while back ago, and when did I buy it? Oh, I bought it, I know it's Wet and Wild, so grocery shop probably, or not. I might have bought it in Poland, Zakopane. It's south part of Poland. It's a beautiful place. Has wooden logs and you have ski resorts and stuff like that, although we didn't go during the winter. Well, last time we were there, we were during the winter, Christmas time, so if you check my Christmas vlogs you probably can see it. Maybe not this. So what I did, and obviously this purchase was made before my kind of ideas of trying not to buy plastic. I like the ideas now that they put some in carbon, you know, just saying. So this is probably highlight, but what I do, I'm just trying to get the biggest brush I have. Maybe not the biggest one I use is this one with a wooden thing for powder. And I'm just putting it like that. Some professional movements probably. Just to, I don't know, have a clean canvas as a blank sheet. Hope I'm saying that word right. And then I have another one from this collection. I love this collection. It's kind of bamboo echo something brushes. I don't know, it doesn't say anything, but I got these, if you're asking me, in TK Maxx. I'm not sure. Probably in Europe people will know what TK Maxx is. In America, Canada, do you have shop like that? And then I go with a little bit of here, a little bit of here, and maybe around here, just to kind of, I don't know, they said about getting some shapes and things. You may see the kind of scar over here. When I was a kiddo, a furniture fell on me, so life happens. I have this thing also. This thing I actually bought also in Poland. Is that the same company as this one? Lovely. And I use the same brush when I did the bronzer. I'm using for blush. And I just do this. Actually, literally, guys, you don't have to. Well, I don't do that. Cool you. And now eyes. So we need eyeshadows and mascara. Mascara. Right, so this is a thing that I got in Poland a while back, maybe 3 years. Probably there is some expiry date on cosmetic products, but so I have two and a little one over here, and it's very heavy, so it's not really a travel friendly, and it is plastic. But the good thing is that you can buy separately those things. You can take them out. If I can show you. You probably know. Anyway, you probably know, so I won't be showing you how to do it. But let's take my pin. Something, hair something. And try to take out Ta-da! So it is plastic, but you can buy these separately, and they're, what you call it? I think aluminium, but you can probably recycle it when you finish, you know, all that shadow inside. But you keep this, and then you just put, and you pick the colors you want. So probably I won't be talking what colors I have unless you're interested in it. But I have these. One used more than others. I call it a work shadow. Okay. And then we have another brush like this, so I don't have to do much. And this is my work shadow. I use it for work. But now I'm trying to use others. I'm not sure why it's like this. So I just do this, professional. And just put it like that, looking at the camera. Don't even bother too much. You just whoosh. Okay, while I'm doing this, let's focus and tell you some interesting stuff. Work update. I don't talk about work because I work in the area that everyone can see me. And somehow inside, I don't want to talk about it. But the main thing is that I'm back to work full time, and I wanted to tell you that because I may not have so much time to record or knit, and I was thinking two different type of videos because I like my finished objects, because it's just my diary, journal, what I've done. And if I knit something for someone and I forgot and I see that stuff, let's say it socks on their feet, I can go back to the video and see it. Probably could be the same situation if I don't know, if I put it on RAVELRY. I do, but I don't type that much. So video is something better for me. Okay, do we need anything else? So you see it kind of gives some shadow now. Not my natural shadow, but just a shadow. What else? And then I like this one. And oh yeah, if you see those purple ones, I once got a little small travel friendly inglot set. It was in a zipper thingy, but I could have thrown it into the bin. Yes. But I like this shape. This one over here, because they're like both sides. And what I do with it, I take slightly darker now shadow. So let's make this one with some sparkly one. Although probably sparkly shouldn't be there. You know what? I don't care about it there. I just do with this here. And I do that. I basically place it and I just do this. So that's the main information I wanted to tell you. So I'm sorry. But I'm thinking of to record, like, you know, organize stuff. I love tutorials, those little bits, because sometimes I sit and let's do this, and it's I know it's not like professional tutorial, but like, let's say go on the screen since the last episode, this is what I've done. So you could see their little tricks, bits, maybe no full things, but I know few were requested, and when someone messaged me on Instagram or down below in the comments or there in the comments, you know, I'll do my best to do it. So I say always, you know what, wait for my next project. If that will be the technique that I'll be using there, I will create a tutorial. Yeah, the only worry now with me will be that probably the only time I will be able to record will be weekends because of the light. I don't want to go with it. So we shall see. How does it look? At least you see it. And then if I want to go a little bit fancier, I normally back to the same one. And I'll try to go like maybe with the pink, something that has shine, I think that's your color, and just put it over here. I don't know. We're back to this one. I like to put something under my eye because someone said you have to have some frame, I think, and just maybe put it up too, in case someone will be looking into my eyes and see that little shadow is different. And I keep them all in that little jar. As you have noticed, I don't use all of them for like daily makeup. That's basically daily makeup. But what else you can find over here? It's this, and sometimes I use it. And this is, again, this Polish brand, Lovely. I think it's Polish. I bought it in Poland, and it is, oh my, extra lasting something. Matte and lasting. And what you do your lips. Like this. Okie dokie. And what it does, it's kind of starts. That reminds me of my old videos. And it says, is it good? I wouldn't say. And it's still in my mouth. Yeah, but I feel that I would put some balm on it now. Dry. But this is a free pattern. Well, maybe not this color work, because I just went through it and did it. I did that a while back. Oh my, this is a very old video. If I have this on this channel, probably not on my old one. I will just link it over here if I can. I probably would be able to. And I made so many of those, and I made it for friends, for birthdays, especially when they were finishing 30. I was just like with a box. Here you go, cry. So yeah, for this, and this is acrylic that I've used to had, and then I kind of progressed to a fiber, or an animal fiber as someone would say, so wool, or yeah, I don't use cotton so much, so I go with the wool, alpacas and so on. Obviously, that's wool, and this is acrylic. I still have it, I still like it, I still use it, and so far so good. I haven't done any decor in this room since we moved in. That was in March 2020. So far I'll be keeping it, otherwise I might be, thrifting. And actually, yeah, I posted this video, and I posted this video which is showing my hats, and I'm decluttering them, and I told you I'm going to put it on Instagram, but I haven't done it yet. I don't know how much to charge even for that thrift stuff. Some hats I used really nice yarn, and obviously I could just frog it and reuse that yarn, because the yarn itself is very expensive. And by yarn I mean, like, if it's wool, not acrylic. So I have a dilemma, but I knitted it. They're beautiful hats, and I know someone would really like them, so we shall see how that goes. Any suggestions? Have you ever done something like that, let me know. And if you see any hats that I'm showing over there and I'm still hesitant and you would want to purchase them, comment under that video. Pleasure, not pressure, I'm just saying. In some of countries still I can't, for instance, I can't send anything to Australia. I'm just saying, the post office is just not accepting anything. And there are a few other countries, and to checking that I use an app and post to see. And with hair, well, they grow, and normally last time I did that I chopped them myself, and I think I posted it in some video, but it wasn't like separate video. With the hair it was just some finished object. They're long. Probably I should brush them. Hair products. For my birthday I got a bar shampoo from Lush, and it's really, really good. I still have little bits that I'm just literally doing this, which is what, September now. But to be honest, I was cheating. We have some, bottle ones too, a bit here and there. So I need to make an order, and I'm looking maybe for something based in Ireland. And I'm following a few amazing knitters, crocheters, that they also kind of trying to find solutions, so I may know 2 places that I could purchase something. With my hair, you probably would have noticed that I don't pay attention, but I really want to. And I think I'm reading a book, actually, listening, this one, The Order of Birth, I think that's the title. So I'll just take a print screen of my Audible, whatever you call this app. And it always, when I read books like that, I was recommended by Seb to me. Lovely. And so I'm listening to it because now I can, because I drive to work for a longer time. But anyway, I haven't been a child that was focused on, preparing hair, braiding them, or doing fancy stuff, or putting fancy clothes. No, so I don't have habits like that, and I feel that I should be, because I have you guys and beautiful channel, and maybe just do something with myself. So I'm trying my best, and this is literally a huge thing for me. If you see me that I have hair done, even with those clips like this, this is a big thing. So if you're like me, you don't bother with hair, just try have 4 those bobby pins, that's the word, and just gather them like where you would have your ponytail, because normally that's what I would wear. You see everything, it's falling. I don't know how those bobby pins don't work. I don't get it. Is there a trick for them to stay, or my hair are so slick? And lately, what I like to do, I gathered my hair. Alright, maybe you're wondering what kind of go-go I have. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my go-go, which basically is an elastic band with some fancy thing, and I just made a knot. Yeah, because all of those that you buy in the shop just break, like literally for me, in like a week. With such a waste, and most of them, you know. So I thought this will work, and actually it works. So, and it looks kind of pretty, I presume, because of that lacy bit. I got that, maybe 15 years, 10 years ago in Poland. Because I have a small box of like sewing things that maybe one day I will sew. Somehow I don't get that energy to pursue that passion. Or I would want to be a passion. I would want to sew my clothes. If I can say out loud something that I probably will fail and not do, and I can share that with you, this is the one thing. Because I'm quite tall, I'm 5'9", and to have anything that would fit me or be long enough the way I would want that to be, or yeah, that's basically the beauty of handmade stuff. If you knit for yourself, you can make it the way you feel comfortable with, and emphasize areas you would want to, hide the areas you would want to hide, even though someone tells you you don't have to. Yeah, so maybe one day. And that's basically my kind of goal. Maybe in 2021, when I come back to Poland, I go to some thrift store and look for some fabric, like, you know, curtains. And because, as you know, when you start anything from the beginning, don't expect you're going to be good straight away. So with knitting, it's quite okay. You can start knitting with good yarn. And you can just frog the thing that you made and restart again, unless it's a mohair, like hair, mohair yarn. That's a little bit difficult. Fluffier yarn, so it's not twisted so much, could be a challenge. I'm not saying it's not possible, but just challenge. And the other thing that you need to pay attention to, if someone asks you to steek, yes, steek your work basically means that you work in the round and then you chop the yarn in the middle. That's normally what you can notice in a machine sweaters, most. If you're in a thrift store and you want to recycle, use the yarn that the sweater was knit. There's ways of checking, was it hand knit, or there are machines that are knitting pieces. But in most cases, the cheapest version is just to create the long fabric, just sew it and then cut it, or they cut it and then sew it together so it won't unravel. And if you want to reuse that yarn, you have just little pieces, so it doesn't really work well. Unless you want to do some fringe stuff, you know, then, or pom-poms, then would be perfect. Where was I? You see, I came back to knitting. I think I started talking about sewing, somehow knitting again. Now, so I told you about go-go, and let's go through it. So I'm going to gather my hair, put it into the ponytail, and just flip it. Am I doing it? I think, and then they say to pull those things on the side, but because those bobbins are like, oh, I don't want to be with you kind of stuff, with me at least, then it does not look the way they normally do that on the screen. I have beautiful things, but I think at least it puts that I put, no, at least I think, I hope it says that I put some effort. than just having my messy hair and look like I just walk up from the bed. That I walked up and left the bed. So I'm ready to record finished object video. So quickly, maybe I'll show you knitting my whips. So I have this blanket and I stopped knitting it. Maybe it's like a break or something, or I don't know. So yes, this is it. So I have needles over here, 4.5 millimeters, which is US size. I don't remember. It's Chagoo, so it's US 7. It says on the Chagoos. And the cord over here is a big one, 150 millimeters. Is it? Yes. I'm thinking of maybe knitting it for a bit and then finishing it. This way, like the way I was knitting, direction, I'm standing now, so this is the end. It kind of lifts my hips, so sorry for this. Thank. I probably could have a dress if I wanted to. Okay, I'm not jumping on the bed, so yeah, stay safe. But if I do this, you see me? So if I do this, it kind of covers me. And I think I'm going to okay, right, I'm back. And I think I'm going to finish it, not because I don't have more leftovers. I probably could add more. I used over here more of a hand-dyed yarn and leftovers from friends and so on. And obviously I will record a finished object video when I finish it. Started in 2020 and I think I'm going to finish in 2020. I put already a tag, a heart and a tag, and that reminds me straight away that my shop is still in a close mode, and if you want something like that, just message me separately and I'll see what I can do for you. And I thought maybe I will push it over 2020, and then the other end of the blanket I will include different tag, so that will kind of tell me I started in this year and I finished. You know, sometimes you knit blankets for like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Yeah, but our little cottage, and as it says, little cottage, does not have a lot of space. And I just can't have a huge blanket because probably this will fill one of these. Designer of this is Bakery Bears. K. Joan, and this is a Bit and Bobs. Yes, Bit and Bobs. And I basically have it like this because it doesn't fit anywhere. Next one, what I'm doing, will start knitting a second sock. I don't have a heel over here. I will insert afterthought heel later on, which I have a tutorial how to do it, so if you're interested, on the screen now, and check it out. And this is vintage gate socks. I normally not on right why I call the pattern. I don't even tell you in the video why, because it will took ages, and I kind of feel that most people would not be interested why I call it the way I call it, but just be aware that I had some thoughts into it. My sample that I'm wearing is in grey and this is in pink, and I think it's going to be a gift. I'm on the second one. A new design. I have an idea for socks, and I received this beautiful Skein from Knit Crochet boxes subscription. So instead of putting over here a product placement, they're sending a boxes my way to open up. There's affiliate link, so if you purchase through affiliate link, they will send some little things towards my way every time you receive a box. I know with your first box you can use my coupon code 20% and you'll get 20% discount code. There are vibes, and I think you can change now the vibes every month, and they send some sneak peeks of colors, and I picked colors myself, and I picked vibes myself for October. I can't wait. And thank you so much for that friendship thing on Knit Crate. If you haven't heard that, if a person sends you, if you give your friend, like for instance me, your email address, I will send you a link, or it was just promotion for a while, to your friend for a box, so you get 50% off. And if you go through my affiliate link, it will, I think, count the same way. So every time you get then afterwards a box, obviously not 50% off, I will get a little bit from it, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, so just go on the Golden website and check it if you're interested. So I'm just telling you that. So I got the yarn and I cast it on socks, and I used my yarn over toe, which I'm showing you how I do it in this video, which basically means it's like make one left, make one right, because with make one left, make one right, you pull that strand between those two stitches and they got kind of tight, at least in my case. And then you knit through it, and obviously make one left, make one right tells you how to lift that strand between those stitches. But with the yarn over, it's basically that yarn over is actually that strand that it's already there waiting for you, so it doesn't give me such a bad tension. And I posted a video on Instagram about this, like literally this thing, and everyone said it's so neat. And believe me, I know you think of me that I'm this amazing knitter, but with my low self-esteem, I have to disagree and and tell you not really. But with this one, I would, yeah, this is looks that I didn't knit it. So yeah, try it. I also ask under the photo what kind of increases you make when you knit toe up. So over here, what kind of increases you do when you knit toe up, and please share that with us, because I'm telling you, there are people interested. And if someone commented underneath that they're using your method of increasing, give their heart thumb up. It's so hard word, thumb up, and say, yeah, I do that too. Let's just say hi to each other more often, I would say. And last but not least, I finished something, and it's a finished hat, and I would love to show you this hat, but I think it's going to be my new design. I'm not sure, should I share? So I can tell you that I use this yarn, which is Drop Eskimo. I didn't post on Instagram about this, and I used 6mm, I think. I used 6mm needles, and I didn't use any DPNs or any long ones. I could actually decrease the way I wanted to decrease using just these, because after a while I'm just kind of using both methods of, I kind of use a different method. So, you know, everyone tells you to use magic loop method, but magic loop method means that you have a loop with a needle, with the tip of the needle, and you're working over here, but on the other side you have that loop with the cord. So you need to have that cord long enough to not stretch, but be longer to kind of get that curve. And with these, obviously you want to have it because they are 16 inches, which is 40 centimeters only. So what I do, I just do on the only one side, and eventually when I have less and less stitches, and then I can do a magic loop with these. But basically then I probably have like, I don't know, but little when I get to that point. But then I don't have to use any extra needles, any extra tools, and so on and so on. But it put an effort on the cord, yes. And these are hires, and you know, everyone knows that I kind of remember what they were doing. But so far so good. Never ever had a situation that they broke, and because they're 6mm, so the cord has a bigger connections. So just to be aware, they're smaller connections or bigger connections, depends on the size of the tips. I think they have now something that you can put like an extra connector, so even if you have a big one you can have a small one, and if you have a small one you can have a big one, all the way around. But do your own research, don't take my word for it, because I haven't done the research. So it is a kind of bulky. This is they recommend 80mm because this is drops, so they always write it down what they recommend, and I use 6. I don't have 8. I had 7, but I couldn't find them. And they said in 50 grams we have 50 meters, which is 54 yards. So if your brain works in 100 grams, yeah, that will be 100 meters and 108 yards. So yeah. So if I think about it, would that be equivalent if I take DK yarn? DK yarn is in 100 grams. We have 200 meters. Over here, we have 100 meters. So if I hold double the DK, which claims to be 200 meters in 100 grams, would that give me the same thickness? Let me know down below. I think it might. And in that case, you know, you could mix, you almost saw it. You can mix things. But I can tell you, I use my Barbara's Bubble. If you don't know what Barbara's Bubble is, ding ding. Again, yeah, tutorial is on this channel, and I call it Barbara's Bubble because first time I've implemented this bubble in my Lights and Twigs shawl on the screen, and maybe here if I still have a space. So just click I. So just click I at the end of the video. So watch it all. And when people bought the pattern, almost all of them said that I've never used a bubble like this. And then I heard that actually people take this bubble and use it for different projects, different designers who implemented different technique of a bubble. Because I like the bubble from perspective of a look, but I don't like to knit a standard bubble because you have to move your work and then put it back. Move your work and put it back. So basically, you knit flat back and forth in like 3 or 5 or whatever number of stitches the bubble has, and then you kind of close the bubble and then you continue knitting. So it's loads of moving here and there, and I designed a sweater that has loads of bubbles with my bubbles, so I didn't have to turn them. But for a knitter who has done only standard bubbles, that sweater will be, you put so much work into it. And that'll be, no, I didn't actually. Obviously it takes more yarn because of the bubble, but I love it. I love it so much. I love bubble in my life. So I have it over here, and I'm thinking, because I have some sweater quantity of a thicker yarns, to maybe knit myself a thicker sweater using this pattern, you know. And then if it happens that I publish it, then I will publish a hat. But first things first, I have to first grade. Although I did some grading, I think I did 10 sizes, which is for me, first time ever pattern, sweater pattern, grading, it will be a challenge. So whoever would want to test knit for me a sweater, a DK weight yarn with, I double check, but I think it's 18 stitches. I got in my sample sweater that I've knitted. No, I worded wrong. I knitted a sweater, this one on the screen, using that yarn, and I got 18 stitches. So I presume now recreating I should use the same, but I blocked sweater, and now I need to just double check that I'm actually getting the same, because you never know, the life situation may have changed and actually has changed. So you could be less tense or more, and things can happen. So I'll just double check that I got that, and yeah, okay. I'm bummer that I can't share with you. I need to literally push myself and say just do it and see how it goes, right? Okay, so that's it in the chit chat. I'm ready to record a finished object video in regards to my socks. So hopefully next video on this channel will be my beautiful socks, and I hope you're going to see it because I put so much effort into it just to look so nice. Maybe I'll change the t-shirt. So yeah, like, subscribe if you like to follow my knitting inspiration, and see you in the next one. Bye.